Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Sports Live. I'm David Thomas. I have to my left Mr. Bill Anderson and Mr. Kenny Parker. We're here to talk local high school sports, specifically high school football from last night, guys. But I want to first thank our sponsors, First Bank here in Shelbyville, Hernandez Tree Service, and Kincaid Service Company. Let's pause right now and hear a word from First Bank. All right, guys. Those were two of our fine sponsors, First Bank and Hernandez Tree Service. And also we have Kincaid Service Company. Service is their middle name. I remember that commercial from years ago. And if you've ever bought anything from Kincaid Service Company, you know they do stand behind what they sell. They've been a staple in this community for years, guys.
And they Market Eve Kincaid, they got everything too, from furniture to you need a refrigerator, you need a dishwasher, you need they got it.
You go into my kitchen at my house, if you put your hand on something that works, it came from Kincaid.
Yeah.
My dishwasher, my stove, my refrigerator, my washer and dryer.
Yeah,
guys, I don't go to some of these other places shopping and looking. I go to them, tell them what I want, because when I buy it there, they come in to fix it.
And the thing about it, sometimes you can find a price cheaper, and it's not the same product as you're getting, but it looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing about it, it ends up costing you a whole lot more.
That's
Had
right.
you just went ahead, Kincaid, and got it.
The other thing too is if you've got a refrigerator, you buy it from them, they'll haul your other one off.
Yeah,
that means something, guys.
Yeah. You can't get
rid
of a refrigerator.
You're right. That makes a big difference.
All right, Bill. We had an abbreviated high school football schedule last night throughout the state because of fall break. But last night, all of our Bedford County teams were in action. Take it away.
Cascade, run down the scores real quick. Cascade was at home. They defeat Cannon County. We're going to talk about that in a minute. 28-22. Big win for Coach Tyre and the champions. Shelbyville goes down to Lawrenceburg. Got in a hole down there. We're down 12-7 at the half. Come back in the second half. Played better. 21-12. The Golden Eagles win. Giles County beat the Community 69-14 last night. That's not a surprise. Moore County's still rolling. 49-7 over Huntland. Fayetteville, Cascade's next opponent, beat Nashville Christian 49-37. Good Pasture beat Webb Schools 67-21. And Shelbyville's next opponent, and the fish fry opponent, Lincoln County, lost to Cookeville 41-13. Let's start with Cascade.
Well, talking with David before the game, sounded like Cascade's game and Shelbyville's game pretty much a carbon copy. Cannon County came out, played good ball. Cascade didn't play real bad ball, but Cascade was down at halftime, 22-14. Went in. Coaches made some adjustments. Cannon County had 121 yards rushing, 117 yards passing for 239 yards in the first half.
Good balance.
Yeah.
They come in the second half, you can tell by their alignment and the way the kids played, evidently. Coaches made great adjustments. Second half, Cannon County rushed for 24 yards, and threw for 9 yards, so 39 yards total offense in the second half. Cascade, on the other hand, was led by their trio. I mean, Sawyer Lovren had a great game, rushed 24 times, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 receptions for another 57 yards. So he had a 200-yard game. Their quarterback, Damian Bryford, 8 rushes, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Also threw a pass to our Sawyer, had a pass for a 2-point conversion. A Derrick Henry pass to Choppa for a 2-point conversion. Byford was 7 of 11 for 90 yards, and one of his big receivers was Saban Burris, 4 catches for 33 yards. So Cascade had 249 yards rushing last night with a total of 339. They got better as the game went on. As the game went on, they were the much more physical, much better. Coaches did a good job at halftime. The turning point in the game is Cascade is down 22-14 at halftime. They come out, they get the opening kickoff, they go down, they score, go for 2, and don't make it. So they're down 22-20. Onside kick. Beautiful. Beautiful. They recover it, go in and score, and that's the game. Had a chance to put it away at the end, didn't, but I'm telling you what, the defense just played. I don't know that Cannon County crossed midfield in the second half.
Yeah.
So it was a big win. What that win did is it sets up these next 2 weeks. They're on the road. They go to Fayetteville, I don't know if you mentioned that earlier. They go to Fayetteville next week and Marion County the week after. And one win gives them a home playoff game. If they can beat Fayetteville and win that game, then that puts the last game of the season as a chance for
Region championship.
And it could be that the last game of the season could still be for the region championship, because if Cascade's undefeated right now in the region play, if they were to lose to Fayetteville and beat Marion, then that would put them both with 1 loss, and they would get the overall tiebreaker because they beat Marion. So
Fayetteville got off to a slow start, but they played really well here the last 2 or 3 weeks. Fayetteville's come on, that's not going to be easy.
I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. Fayetteville's got to have a good team. They beat Nashville Christian, and Nashville Christian's supposed to have 1 more quarterback.
Yep, that's what I've heard too.
But
David, down to Lawrence County, went down there last night. You went down there. It was looked like it was going to go pretty good. Shelbyville runs the kickoff back initially. It's called back, had a big run call back. But that wing T Lawrence County's got's tough.
Well, we got the ball to start the game, and like you said, we had that penalty, but we moved the ball, got down to about the 30-yard line, and we kind of shot ourselves in the foot and didn't score there. We went for it on 4th. They took over, and they ripped off a big run right out of the gate. This wing T it gave us some fits in the first half because we just weren't used to seeing the quarterback up under the center. And when he turns his back, you can't see that ball like you can.
Directions. That's right.
Hey, and here's the deal. If you're not disciplined with the wing T, Shovel's got speed. And when you see that, you can run yourself out of the play because here it comes the other way.
Yep.
To defend the wing T, you've got to be very disciplined, and you've got to read the guards. The guards will always take you to the ball.
Yep.
You've got to read the guards. You've got to be disciplined. You got to stay at home and don't chase.
Yeah. And we ran by so many plays last night early.
And did not tackle well in the first half.
We didn't tackle well. We were kind of out of position,
right.
And the second half, though, down 12-7 at the half, and they get the ball coming out. So you say, well, we got to have a stop here. We got to stop. They moved it a little bit, took a little time off the clock, and then after that was pretty much it for them on offense. Shelbyville's offense did not perform like usual. They were keying on our run. They were basically stacking it in there and saying, we're going to stop your big running backs. And in the second half, in the fourth quarter specifically, Robert Bailey and Radon Crenshaw. Radon came in the last possession, and we had to have some tough yards, and he just pounded the ball. He got about 35 yards rushing in that last drive. He got a big fourth down conversion, and then right after the fourth down conversion, I think we're on the 13-yard line. We could just ice it and win the game right there, but he just plowed through everybody and scored.
Senior.
Big thing. He's
Senior.
probably might be a player of the game. Radon Crenshaw.
Yeah, he was
nine tackles, 4 tackles for a loss,
yes,
2 sacks, 6 rushes, 40 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he's not healthy.
I know.
He is not healthy.
Playing with a separated shoulder.
And the same thing for Bailey, who ran it hard, had an incredible run last night. He's not healthy.
Yeah, he had one.
And I think Rocky's banged up. So all 3 tailbacks have a little. We got to get them healthy guys.
Yeah, and we got a corner.
Run.
We got our
and we got a corner
out. Ransom is out. Probably back this week, I'm thinking. But you could tell we were banged up, and I think a bit out of balance because of that wing T. The wing T gave us a problem. They milked that clock in the first half.
They were able to shorten the game.
Yeah, we didn't in the second quarter. I don't think we had the ball, but for like maybe a minute and a half, and they just had it the rest of the time. So, but we got out of there with a win. It was a big region win. We go to 3-0 now, and we've got 2 big games coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Next Friday night.
Friday night at home with Lincoln County, and then the following week is a Thursday night game.
Thursday night at home.
And that place should be packed.
That place should be old school packed.
Yeah.
Because they will be the only show in town.
Hello, Miss Helen. Miss Helen Raby said,
hello,
good
Helen.
morning. Thank you for watching, Miss Helen. Thanks for saying hi to us.
Fish fry, Friday night, everybody.
Yeah.
Big fish fry. It starts at 5 o'clock. Central High School cafeteria. We're going to have good fish. We're going to have white beans. We're going to have hush puppies. We're going to have some potato salad. We're going to have slaw. We're going to have desserts. It's going to be a big night.
Did I hear you had a lottery at that fish fry? Whoever gets the gar plate is going to be the winner. Do you have a gar plate?
There will not be a gar plate there, I can assure you. Now, there might be a few walleye mixed in there, but there's not going to be any gar.
No gar for gar, huh?
Nope. Looking forward to it, though.
Bill, let's talk about community going down to Giles County.
Giles, I mean, everybody, you know how tough that is.
That's a tough place to play.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And I still don't see how they're 3A.
No.
Unless somehow they move that.
Let's not talk about that game a whole lot because Giles, we know, community's got one of their best chances coming up this week. It will be senior night, Red Bowling Springs. And they've got hopefully they're well. They've got a chance with Red Bowling Springs.
Be nice to see you. Be nice to see you get a dub.
Yeah, those freshmen and sophomore that are coming up. Yeah. That's the predominant 2 classes of the team. I mean, you're basically that's who your JV teams are when you got a full team with upperclassmen. But that's basically what you're going to battle with, and these guys have gotten better, and getting a win, putting a win up would be great for them.
But I will say this, Red Bowling Springs won 4 or 5 games.
Oh, they're pretty good. They're not bad.
They're not bad this year.
Yeah. And Helen Raby comes in and says, yeah, buddy, Bill knows what he's doing with that fish. Yep. Just make sure you got walleye.
I got
to say.
I heard Bill are you the net man? No.
Now, most of the time I had to fish by myself, so I was the net man and the catch man.
There you go.
Because you by yourself, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we want to thank our sponsors once again. First Bank here in Shelbyville, Kincaid Service Company. Both of these 2 businesses are right here on Madison Street, and then Hernandez Tree Service.
And this is the time of year when you need tree work.
Yeah, you got that right.
And Hernandez is reasonable. That's another big thing compared to a lot of these people. I had a friend of mine had to have a tree cut down, and I think the cheapest price they got was $1,800. I think Hernandez did it quite a bit cheaper and did a really good job too.
They'll get in and get it done.
Right.
And they don't leave a mess.
Right.
I mean, if they come in and they have to bring their bucket truck into your yard and they leave a track, they fix it, and you don't even know it's there when they leave. I mean, they're really good guys. Call Rocky if you need Hernandez to come out and do some tree work. Let's shift gears now. We had one other game in the county. We had Webb 21 and Good Pasture 67. We knew this was going to be a hard schedule for these guys. They keep fighting,
and they have senior night this coming Friday night also with BGA. BGA comes to town this week, so we go. Hopefully they
Yeah.
can get one this week.
All right, guys, let's shift into college football. Our top 10 of this past week. You guys, if you don't know, we have a top 10 that we have a group of guys that make their votes, and we try to calculate and get those out on Monday afternoon. And it looks a little bit different sometimes than what you'll see on the AP and the coaches poll. So
What did our top 10 look like?
well, I don't have it.
Right up.
I don't have it right here in front of me. But if you go to our Facebook page at Bedford County Sports, it's up there. But I know we had Michigan as number one,
Right?
and that made some people mad.
It
They
did.
thought Georgia should be number one, but really,
I mean, no
1 and
one's
2, it was close. It was a close vote on that.
gotten the red zone on Michigan yet, have they?
They ain't played nobody.
Well, I'm still.
They ain't played nobody.
That's still.
Georgia.
They're
Until you
rolling
beat them, don't.
They got it
they're
rolling
tough.
now.
They're tough.
Yeah.
And they had for Georgia.
I'm taking
They
you
had-
voted for Georgia in the poll.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
But Georgia, we knew going in, hey, they lose so many players to the draft. Their schedule, like Michigan's, wasn't that tough to start with. So they had all this time to tweak. And then we said here last week, oh, we're going to find out what Georgia is. They got 5-0 Kentucky. Yeah, 5-1 Kentucky today.
Close.
Wasn't even close.
Poor Vanderbilt, I think, is in
In-
for a treat today with Georgia
Yeah.
coming up to Nashville, and I don't think that line could be high enough.
Yeah, that's at 11 o'clock, so it starts pretty early here. We got Michigan playing Indiana. That Michigan shouldn't have a problem with
Nope.
that. However, Indiana over the years has been a spoiler against Ohio State
Not
or
happening.
Michigan State.
Not happening.
Not happening
Not
this
happening,
time.
nope.
Okay. Ohio State at Purdue.
I don't think
No.
that'll be much.
We got Florida State hosting Syracuse.
Won't be a game either.
Nah, I don't
Syracuse
think a
has
whole
not
lot.
played well the last couple of weeks.
All right.
At FSU, FSU's pretty good.
All right, Alabama fans, get into the SEC. Arkansas plays at Alabama today.
Arkansas is a
thinking?
disappointment to me.
Yeah,
Y'all disappointed in them a little bit. I thought that quarterback coming in was probably one of your better ones in the SEC that was coming back.
He's
He's
changed.
regressed.
He's changed his body. I don't think they're what they were.
I don't either.
Especially what we had thought they were going to be. They're just not playing, and I think Alabama's getting a little bit. I heard. I don't know. Their quarterback may be hurt a little bit. I'm not sure. I didn't read much into it this week, but
Yeah.
I
And
know
they don't have the receivers they once had that
Yeah.
were able to.
Yeah, well,
Take the top off the
Mr.
defense.
Aaron Parker is giving a
hey,
shout
he's
out
at
to
home.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's at home this week. Yeah.
Well, he
Got
should
a
have
bye
come
week.
up here.
Got a bye week.
Huh?
He should have come up here and
Well,
give us a
I-
Packers report.
Well, that could have been, but he's at home. He needs to see his friends. He's got
Yeah.
to visit his friends. Today's his last day. He goes back to work tomorrow. So he needs to be spending the time.
Well,
with
he
his
was
friends.
giving a shout out to Washington, and I
I'm
agree
telling
with
you
him.
right now,
They might be there.
Washington is
Might
the
be.
team.
Might be.
Washington
Might be.
is going to be
That
the team.
quarterback, if you haven't watched him, this was a great Saturday to watch him because they got Oregon this evening. And that ought to be a good ball game. But that quarterback, to me, is your Heisman Trophy winner as of right now. He's better than, right now over the kid from USC. Even.
Don't disagree with you at all.
Best
All
player in
right,
college
I've-
football.
All right, you got Penn State hosting Massachusetts, and then you mentioned the Oregon-Washington game.
Big ball game.
Big game in Knoxville. Texas A&M, Tennessee. What do y'all think about Texas A&M going to Neyland Stadium? Do you think
Here's
they
a-
have a chance?
Here's
to
a stat
pull
that'll
upset?
blow you away.
Yes, Texas A&M has a chance, but they won't win.
They've lost their last 7 road games. Texas
Really?
A&M.
I don't
Did y'all know
I
that?
don't know that they have ever beaten since Jimbo Fisher has been at Texas A&M. They have not won a SEC road game of any kind of significant meaning against a good team.
And they've lost 7 in a row on the road.
And Fisher has got the tremendous buyout, but if he don't win this week, that'll be back to back,
Yeah.
and he's got.
That might be
He's-
starting. You might be
you
starting to
got
talk
that
about
right.
that.
But their defense is tough.
It is tough. I will
Their
tell you, though,
defense is tough,
if-
but their offense is not.
if Tennessee can run the football a little bit and A&M does what they did against Alabama, which was bring the safeties up And Alabama took advantage of them down the field. Tennessee has got the kid's got an arm; he can get it down there. Then I think you're going to see some long play action shots. But the big difference to me is where's the game at? If it was at A&M, I'd tell you A&M was going to win. But it's in Knoxville. I'm going to go with the Vols.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Florida at South Carolina. Another SEC game. I'm wondering who Florida is. What do y'all think about this?
I think South Carolina has the superior quarterback. They're at home, and I think they'll beat the Gators.
I don't.
I sure
think
do.
the Gators will win.
All right, that'd be a good game.
Florida's another team. Play great at the Swamp. Not very good on the road. That's just one of those deals. I'd say the same thing about Tennessee. They played well at home. They haven't played well on the road.
Auburn at LSU.
Boy, that's a night game down there. I don't think Auburn can score, even though LSU defensively is not very good. But LSU can score. And it's in the darkness down there at Tiger Stadium. I'll have to go with LSU to win big.
I think I'd go with the Tigers also.
There's a day game. I might give Auburn a chance, but not a night game.
You got Missouri at Kentucky tonight.
Now, that could be interesting. Missouri's better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, they've.
But this is a get-right spot for Kentucky. They really need to win at home tonight after what happened last week.
You think?
Yeah. Missouri's no joke, guys.
No, they're not.
Missouri
no, they're not.
I watched the two games last night. It was Tulane and Memphis. And I was watching that and listening to these high school games on the radio. And Tulane got it 10-0. Then Memphis storms back, goes up 21-10. I quit watching it. It wound up 37-21.
We talked about the Sheffield game and the Cascade game, a tale of first half and second half. You think about what you saw last night. You saw Stanford, Colorado.
29-0. Coach Prime's up 29-0. He loses.
The game you just referred to. And then the Thursday night game, West Virginia and Houston.
All right. Dave McCullough comes in and says, appreciate your coverage of county athletics. Good job, guys. We love doing it. We love doing it. We appreciate everybody watching. Aaron Parker, talking about college football. Who do y'all think will be in that Final Four in the CFP? Well, I don't know at this point, but I got to think Washington is going to be one.
Well, I think somebody coming out of that Pac-10 will be one for the farewell.
Right.
The farewell. And I think Washington could be that team.
Yeah.
Because I think they're the best one out there. I think Michigan will be one. I think Georgia will be one.
Yeah.
Now, who's four? Everybody's fighting for it.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's fighting. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be some controversy.
I know.
Who's going to be
setting up for it?
Who's going to be for it? I can tell you somebody it won't be Notre Dame.
No, they're done. They're done. And they have.
But I'll tell you one
USC
thing. I was going to mention that. And the interesting thing to me there is USC can't play defense. I mean, they may be one of the worst defensive teams in the country.
Now let's go with that. Think about what their coach, great offensive coach.
Riley from Oklahoma.
When he was at Oklahoma, what kind of defenses did they have?
They didn't.
Throw the cards on the offense and outscore.
And they go get a defensive coordinator.
Now, look what's happened to Oklahoma.
Got a defensive coach from Clemson.
And their offense is still good.
Let me tell you.
But their defense is good too.
Yes.
That might be the number 4.
That could be the 4.
Or Florida
I don't
State.
think it's Ohio State this year. No, I don't think it's Ohio State.
It'll be Ohio State.
And and a wild card shot, I'm still got my eyes on Alabama. I mean, they got that one loss.
Well, I'm telling you, when you look at, there's some great teams out there. There are some really good teams.
Florida State's undefeated.
Yeah. You keep. Well, I tell you what, the longer we go, they're going to sort themselves out.
But again, I say this: Florida State's undefeated. But what else does it in the ACC?
North Carolina, who's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miami, who's not bad, even though
they got
Lynn Dameron Miller comes in and says, "Yes, good job. I look forward to listening every week. Thanks for watching, Lynn. We appreciate you
absolutely
tuning in every week." All right. So college football going to be an interesting game between Washington and Oregon tonight. Everybody's around here is probably going to be watching Tennessee and Texas A&M.
That's at 2:30.
At 2:30, and then we've got some good night games tonight.
Yeah.
So good lineup.
Football.
All right,
more football.
Let's talk about 8:30 a.m. in the morning,
Oof.
Bill. What about it?
Are you waking up to watch it?
You better believe it. I wouldn't miss it.
All right.
But I don't feel good about this one, guys. I think the Ravens going over on Monday was smart. I don't agree with us going over
Exactly.
later. You need to, if you watched it last week, Jacksonville stays over there.
What
Buffalo
did they say?
Buffalo was asleep till the halfway through the third quarter.
I
I think that's a huge advantage for Baltimore.
Aaron went over there last year with Green Bay, and he said the same. You got to have your feet
Got to get
underneath
acclimated.
you.
Yeah.
You know, you play the game on your feet.
Yeah.
And if your feet aren't, that's a definite advantage. I didn't know that they went over. That's a definite advantage.
Definite advantage for Baltimore.
Well, let's talk about the league this year in general. I was listening right after the high school show last night on 104.5 The Zone. I was listening to the national broadcast talking about the NFL, and one of the commentators made the statement: this year in the NFL has been a roller coaster ride.
Here's my thing with the NFL. You've got about 3 really good teams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got about 3 teams that are really struggle, and the rest of them you can put it in a bowl and mix it.
Well, to me, there's
Those
one team
Bears.
that's the best in this league to me. And it's the 49ers.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just not
after,
close.
after the show out that they put
Yeah.
the other night on TV, that's
They got the full package.
They got it all.
But when you look at, and I don't think Kansas City is as good as
No, I do not either.
But when you look at, and everybody's going to talk about the NFC, because the NFC is way ahead of the AFC this year.
This year it is.
I mean, it used to be
At the
Kansas City,
top, I agree with you, but the depth in the AFC is better with better
but
teams.
you ain't gonna have but one team to make it to the Super Bowl.
If
you
it's
got-
the Dolphins, look out and they don't get injured because I'm telling you, they can score. And their defense is getting better. And they're
You
going to
got-
get the kid from, what's the corner's name from Nashville up there, played for Jacksonville?
Alante, no.
No, played for the Rams.
Oh, Ramsey.
He comes back. He's coming
Oh,
off
yeah,
IR,
yeah,
and that's going to
yeah,
help
yeah.
their defense a lot. Ramsey's in Miami now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got the 49ers, you got Philly, and you got the Lions in the NFC.
I love the Lions.
Yeah,
I love the Lions. I love that coach.
Here's one of the things you know. Whoever comes out of the NFC is going to be for real.
You're right.
All right,
Now-
Aaron's throwing something in here on us, okay? And he wants us to talk about this. I believe no one is talking about the rivalry between the Ravens and the Titans. Yes, over the history of the two teams, it's been a huge rivalry, but I think that rivalry has somewhat separated a little bit. What do you think, Bill? It's just
Well,
not like it used to be.
You know,
No.
we've had a couple of recent playoff games with them now. If you go back and remember the year we made it, our nice run to the AFC title game under Vrabel, we went up there and thumped them pretty good. And the next year, we had the home field advantage, and they came to town and thumped us pretty good.
Right.
But Lamar Jackson, I want to say one thing about him. I'm watching last Sunday. They dropped about 12 footballs on him and 3 or 4 touchdowns. We better hope they got the drops this week because Lamar's throwing the ball better, a lot better.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I can speak for myself, we don't give him the credit of how intelligent he is.
I don't think we do either.
No.
That guy, yeah, he's intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
He's intelligent. I mean,
you can't play in the NFL quarterback if you're
Right,
not
that's
smart.
right,
You just
that's right.
can't. You've got to be a smart guy.
If I put you on the spot today, guys, who would you pick going to the Super Bowl from the NFC and from the AFC? What's the matchup going to look like? I got one in my head right now, and it starts SF is one of them.
But San Francisco, I
San
would agree.
Francisco is going to be tough. But I'm going to tell you, don't hold your back. Don't turn your back on Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Don't
between
turn
them
your
two.
But I don't
Don't
think
think-
that so far they've not
Yeah.
playing as well as they did a year ago,
Yeah.
and it's on the defensive side of the
But
ball.
that they still undefeated.
Yeah, they are.
They're still under the.
And
They
very
are
talented.
They're the only 2 undefeated teams, San Francisco and Philly. Don't turn your back on Philly. That's why I said don't turn your back on Detroit.
No,
So, there's now coming out of the other side.
if
Until-
Buffalo can get healthy on defense, and right now they're so beat up,
And-
Buffalo's got a shot.
And I think coming out of the other side, it's who's going to get the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Because home field in the playoffs is tremendous.
Arrowhead is a tough place to play.
Mhm.
And going up to Buffalo's
And,
hard.
and then you mentioned
Especially
the
that time of
Dolphins.
year. And
You
the
mentioned the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
And the
I
Dolphins.
mean, those two to me are the ones that. And again, in 3 weeks from now, we might be having a completely different conversation.
But the thing about if you have to go to Miami and play, they, especially late in the year, I don't think their home field advantage
No.
is what you would get at Kansas City or Buffalo,
Yeah.
because you're not going to get that cold.
All right, we've got Tony Sanders comes in. He's saying San Francisco and the Bengals. The Bengals are going to have to get better.
Ooh.
to
Well,
get there.
and Burrow is, you can
he's
tell
he's
last
still
week,
hurt. He's getting
but
better.
he's getting better.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
healthy. He's throwing the ball to Chase.
Yeah.
They can make a run too if they get everybody healthy.
Aaron says the Eagles and the Bills. Okay, he's going with the Eagles.
I'm going 49ers, and I want to go with the Bills too, just because I
Yeah.
like to see them.
Yeah.
And they did beat Miami head to head, so that's an advantage. So that would help.
I'm telling you, I'm
The Bills are beat up.
don't turn your back on the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah. I agree.
Don't
I
turn
agree.
your back on the Eagles.
I mean, I like that. I like the Eagles. I like Hurts. I like his story. I love the way he is.
I'm
I like Swift, the running back. So far,
Yeah.
he's stayed healthy, and they
Yeah.
run the football.
Here's what I'm a homer. The Eagles or the SEC North.
Okay. It's true.
They are the SEC
Yeah,
North.
they
The
are.
Eagles are Georgia.
No, they're not.
They're full of Georgia players.
They got
Well,
Alabama.
they
Like
got Alabama. They got
Full
Ole
of Georgia.
Miss.
Full of Georgia players.
They got
Georgia.
Alabama. They got Ole Miss. They're the SEC North.
Well, they got it.
Take
Well,
the
I'll
best
tell
out
you,
of SEC and put them in
They're a
Philadelphia.
very good football team.
They are.
And they're going to be in the hunt.
And
we
they
know-
got a Kelsey snapping the ball,
They do.
who's
Yeah,
as
yeah.
good as they are in the
Best
game.
offensive line in pro football.
There you go.
This is this conversation will
Sure.
carry for
Mhm.
weeks. We're
Right.
going to be talking about somebody we hadn't thought about. Maybe it has been
But
a
you know,
roller coaster.
Here's what's bad. We ain't talked about the Titans at all.
No,
They're going to have to get it in gear.
I'm not worried.
Now, this is a
They-
game where a lot
they
of
gonna have to
times
get it
this
in
is where they
gear.
come up and surprise us and play well.
Well,
Yeah.
If
I
they
just
play
don't see
well,
it.
it will surprise us.
I just don't see it tomorrow. I think we're in for a long morning.
I think our offensive line play is putting pressure on the whole team.
What bothered me was you get the tackle back from the suspension, and the comment that I heard was he's going to have to. We're fine there. We've looked good.
Yeah, all right,
That's
we
not what I've
look
seen.
good
I mean,
anyway.
surely you can-
I'm sorry, but
And
this,
I know.
Put him
that-
at left if you got
listen,
to.
I know they gave him some money. That left tackle. Just sometimes you got to say, I made a mistake.
exactly.
Because I
Move 77 out there, put 75 back in there.
Yeah. You got to judge your team by what's happening on the field on Sundays.
And if
it
you're
seems
not
like
if
we're
you're not playing well, start building.
Yeah, exactly.
And what disappointed me last week is DeAndre Hopkins comes through 8 catches, 140 yards in 3 quarters, and he gets to the 4th quarter. Yeah, quit throwing it.
Where
to him.
is he?
Yeah,
I
quit
know.
throwing. And, hey, DeAndre Hopkins does not have to be open.
No.
He just goes. He's got as
Yeah.
big a hands as anybody in the league. You just
Yeah.
throw it, and he goes and snatches it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the Titans play over there and against. I mean, I'm not looking for a good outcome.
I'm not either.
I'll tell you one of the things that I think their new GM did was when he made that trade for their kicker.
Yeah.
Hey, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well,
And
guys,
I do think you might want. I would like to personally see Monty Rice come back and play defense and get more speed out there at the linebacker position, because that was what I was really disappointed in. The Colts ran it right at us with a second string tailback goes for 163 yards. You're not going to win the game.
guys, we need to wrap up. But before we do, Bill, let's go back to what's happening Friday night at Shovel
Central
All
High
right.
School. Here's the tickets.
Now, you had a trivia question.
I did.
We put it on 2 shows.
We
And
have.
nobody's got it
And
yet.
nobody got it.
Nobody's got it yet.
Maybe if Tony
D-
Sanders is still watching,
I know.
maybe Tony can get it.
D. McCullough says, I know it. Well, he's not eligible because he's athletic director.
But hey, tell somebody, D. Give
we got
somebody.
to give these tickets
There-
away.
4 total. The two,
We
for the,
have-
2 for the
yeah,
tailback,
you know what?
1
Yeah.
for the quarterback.
Here's the reason nobody's wanting to win is they know Bill's got Gar.
All right.
It ain't-
So let's do this. let's throw the question. It's not a question. It's
Give
just
it
you got a
again.
name.
Give it again.
You got
Give
a
it
name.
again.
The 2 starting tailbacks for Shelby Central High School in 1987. Not starting tailbacks. One was a fullback. One was a tailback.
Well, one was a
It
halfback.
was a wing back.
Yeah,
it was a wing and
they was in that
halfback.
smokestack eye.
Yeah,
One of them
yeah.
went to the University of Tennessee on scholarship from Johnny Majors.
Right.
Name the
those
two.
two.
That's 2
and
tickets.
Then you win a bonus ticket if you can name the starting quarterback in 1987.
I'll throw 2 in there. That's
Those
4
two. Well,
tickets.
It's going to cost Todd Bobo.
Bobo's paying, so we're good.
For it. So
So this is Bobo
somebody
money.
name them.
4 tickets if you can name them.
There are several people watching this morning that should know this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Should have already been got.
I don't have tickets yet.
No, you're
We're not
ineligible.
eligible.
You're not eligible.
Well, heck.
All right, we're gonna wait just a couple seconds here.
We'll talk about our shows we got coming up too. We got Monday night. We got
Monday night.
Coach Jake Tyre, Cascade Champion Show. And then, of course, Tuesday night, as always, the Judd Dryden Show, SLC Firearms. And we've got on Wednesday night, we'll have Community and Coach Grooms.
Yeah.
And, of course, we got the Fish Fry coming up in the Lincoln County game.
Oh,
And it starts at 5 o'clock. We'll start serving.
Tony Sanders, Roger Porter, Clemens McCroskey. He's the winner.
Yeah, he's the
Where's the
winner.
quarterback?
All right,
Who's
Tony,
the
win 2
starting
more
quarterback?
tickets.
Who is the starting quarterback?
Starting quarterback for that team.
for that team.
we've got this Friday night. Community's got senior night,
Yes.
and Webb is senior night
Senior
this
night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Community and Red Bowling Springs, Webb and BGA.
Dave Overcast. He got
David's gonna get 2
3.
tickets.
All right, so here's what we got to do.
Whoa.
We've got Tony Sanders got the
Got
tailback,
the first 2.
and Dave Overcast came in with Philip Edwards.
There
as
we
the
go.
There we go.
quarterback. So
That's it.
I think we get a pair for
pair
Tony
for
and
Tony
a pair for
Dave.
Dave.
I agree.
All right, so
And I'm going to deliver them to you guys.
all right. Tony Sanders came in just a minute late and says Philip Edwards. Mary Lynn Dickens, Philip Edwards. Yes,
Yep.
y'all are right.
Glad you. Thank you for
Okay,
listening.
Thank you,
for
thank you.
listening. Guys, thanks for coming in, and that was kind of fun.
And
to
y'all can
watch
thank
that.
Todd Bobo for buying you tickets.
Yeah. Guys, we need to wrap things up, and again, we
What
want to
time?
thank our
What time is
sponsors.
the chick? What time is it?
You gonna start?
We'll start cooking that afternoon, but we're going to
What-
start serving at 5.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
SCHS cafeteria.
Yes,
All right.
at the cafeteria, and we will be out there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, First Bank of Shelbyville, Mr. Brent Kennedy. Go by and check him out for all your banking needs. Kincaid Service Company, where service is their middle name.
Mark and Eve Kincaid, stop in and see them.
Stop in and see them also on Madison Street. And then we have Hernandez Tree Service. If you need tree trimming, stump grinding, whatever you need as far as tree service, Hernandez Tree Service, call Rocky. And you can go to their website, hernandeztreeservice.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back again next week, same time, same place. And if you
Upset
want
of
to
the week.
upset of the week.
Upset of the week. High, a pro, college. Who's the upset of the week?
Upset of the week is Texas A&M against Tennessee.
I've got a pro upset for you on the road. The Indianapolis Colts go down to Jacksonville and beat them because Richardson's hurt. The other quarterback's better.
You got one in mind, Kenny. Who is it?
Titans over the Ravens.
Titans
Oh,
over the Ravens. All right, guys.
I like it.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.